Chasing a vein with a drill is what they used to do, and they used to use like a VLF, low frequency way of detecting the anomaly. Graphite is very, very conductive. So some of the modern geophysics techniques that we use here, every day, are basically unheard of in Sri Lanka. So we've introduced it.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Don Baxter. He is the CEO of Applied Graphite Technologies. And Don, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Good to see you, Steve. I'm doing well. Thank you. Hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah, doing very well. Thanks very much. And you've got some results out from a geophysical survey that you were doing at the Queen's Mine Complex in Sri Lanka. And we'll get to that in just a second, but maybe just remind everyone a little bit about the operations there so everyone's aware of that.
Yeah, so we have what we call the Queen's Mine Complex, and it's a couple hundred hectares of land. We own most of it, which is unique in probably any mining space that we actually own the land that we're mining. It's in the best geology of Sri Lanka for graphite, and the terrain allows us for quick access. And the beauty of Sri Lankan vein graphite, it's 95% carbon in the ground, which means we can basically mine it, and we don't have any primary processing. So which means very low capex, and we should be mining, be able to put graphite in a bag hopefully before the end of this year.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, you've got some results out from the survey that you were doing. Tell us, what you were doing and why it's so significant, especially the results.
Yeah, the thing is with Sri Lanka, it's always been difficult. It's a vein graphite. It goes to depth. So chasing a vein with a drill is what they used to do, and they used to use like a VLF, low frequency way of detecting the anomaly. Graphite is very, very conductive. So some of the modern geophysics techniques that we use here, every day, are basically unheard of in Sri Lanka. So we've introduced it, and so using some IP work and basically driving electricity into the ground, we can measure these veins, detect them, and measure them down to 400 meters or even deeper. So that allows us to very quickly identify, where the veins are, and allows us to do some very rudimentary planning, and maybe touch a few with a drill, but we'll try to do as much mine planning around the veins that we identify. And so far, we're having tremendous luck with tremendous success, I should say, as expected with using this technique.
Yeah, you've got sort of three anomalies that you found, and they range in anywhere depending on how deep they are. So
Yeah.
is that significant that some are between 100 and 125 meters and others, 160 to 180? They're not overly deep.
Oh, well, the thing is, they come to surface. So the thing is with the vein graphite, it comes from the depth. So when we detect it on surface, we know it goes down. It's going to go down hundreds of meters. So the very first line we ran, we cross-sectioned three veins that we're seeing with the anomalies. So our geologists confirmed that there be individual veins, and that's just the first line. So we've run many more since. So we'll have more reporting coming out soon. And the key thing is identifying as much or as many veins as possible, because the key thing with Sri Lanka is to get as much production out of it as possible. That's our goal. The battery industry needs lots of this, hundreds of thousands of tons. We'll try to get to probably try to get to 5, 10,000, whatever, 20,000, 30,000 tons as we identify more. And that's what the battery guys need to see. So by doing this technique, the geophysics, again, new to Sri Lanka, not new to Canada or anywhere else for the most part, but it's going to allow us to identify a lot of graphite very quickly.
All right, Don, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much. Good to talk to you again.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
All right. Don Baxter, the CEO of Applied Graphite Technologies.